This exhibition, Eileen Adams, Agent of Change, at the National Arts Education Archive, is about the process of prompting change in art and design education. It's based on my personal archive that I've developed over 45 years, and it shows work by teachers and other colleagues, artists, architects, planners, landscape architects, who've worked with teachers to try to help extend the role of the art teacher and improve and enrich what is taught in the art and design curriculum. It's been an interesting exhibition to put together because it's not just images of pupils' artwork. All the work that you see on display is evidence of learning. It's how students have tried to understand something, have tried to shape their thinking, have responded to the environment, and also tried to think about change in the environment. So it covers a wealth of ideas and possibilities, but I don't think we should look at the artwork as art. It's really evidence of learning. And also the other part was to try and show something about the process of how teachers had worked with other colleagues to initiate change. So it's about process. And how do you show that? So we've included some photographs, some films, some slideshows to show both the students and the teachers at work and how they've been collaborating between schools, sharing their experience, being reflective practitioners, thinking about what am I doing, why am I doing it this way? And so we've tried to give a flavor of that excitement, of that energy. And I do congratulate the organizers. Anna Bowman at the National Arts Education Archive made it happen. And Tony Chisholm and Les Smith actually did the real hard work of setting it all up. And I managed to find lots of stuff in my attic, and I just cannot believe that we have managed to put together this very fresh show about the work of innovators over the last 45 years. Well, thank you all for coming today, and I'm just delighted that you're here, the exhibition is here, and that we can share and celebrate. The material with my publications is the latest addition to the archive. So I'm delighted that I can contribute to this very important 30th year of the archive's existence and make a personal contribution. But to explain the nature of the work, it's gleaned from my personal archive, which means all the boxes of stuff in my loft. So thank you, NAEA, for helping me get that sorted. And what I've tried to do is to give a glimpse of different phases where I've been involved with so many hundreds, thousands of other colleagues in trying to lever change in teachers' attitudes, in the role that they play, and in the work that they do. I do thank Anna Bowman for making it possible. She's been fantastic in the support that she's given and the encouragement and the wonderful attitude of making things happen. But the two people who've done all the work are Tony Chisholm and Les Smith, who have made these tattered remnants of my past look so fresh and I think very vivid, and put them up with such care, and I do thank them very much for that. The exhibition doesn't represent all facets of my work, but it focuses on projects and programs that sought to bring about change in art and design education and in educators' practice. And my aim really has been to establish a broader spectrum of work in the school curriculum and to extend what was possible in the 1970s. You can trace it from the 70s till now. Preparing the exhibition was challenging because it's not about products, it's not about kids' artwork. All the drawings and photos that you see on display are really evidence of study, evidence of people's attempts to think in certain ways. And I think the art in the built environment work, which goes around here, explains this, say with the PGC students from Breton, that looking at the environment, not just as an artist, but also as a critic and as a designer, thinking about a personal response to place, yes, but thinking about how do you value something? What are the criteria for making value judgments about quality? And how would you start to even think about change and improvement? So this was extending what the art teacher was doing at that time to take it into other areas. And then all the projects here represent the work of, I think it's thousands of teachers who were involved in curriculum development groups. At first in art and built environment, then through the campaign for drawing, where we developed a strong educational network, did a lot of work with professional development. And I think the whole business of experimenting, innovating, and then being prepared to share your work with others, with your peers, and learn from them, was a very different sort of atmosphere from what we have now when we're all individual schools fighting for the light. Then it was something that it was more collegiate, and we could work from individual innovation to development, to something that was more of a sea change where we could bring others along with us. And I think that the choosing a lot of the things, obviously, is what have we got from all these years ago, but you can see the sort of thinking that underpins it, that is valuing young people's attempts to think, to understand, to do things. And I think, again, this is where a lot of the ideas were crystallized in the campaign for drawing, when we looked very carefully at the purposes of drawing as a medium for learning. And you can see it played out in the other work, but there when we were looking at drawing as perception, as communication, as invention, as action, then I think it really helped to make sense of a lot of the work that you will see here. The two other things, you've got the stuff on the walls, you've got images of people engaged in the curriculum development activity. You've got, I chose 3 films and 3 slideshows from different periods, so you can actually get a flavor of what people looked like and what they sounded like and what they did. And then the publications, there's been a lot of publications, because how do you disseminate the work? And we've used every single thing we can, whether it was pinching architects' newspapers or getting stuff in higher education printed out on, photocopiers that didn't work and all that sort of thing. And again, coming up to date with the campaign for drawing, Sue Grayson Ford, as director, raised funds for a wish list of books that I was desperate to do, and she made that possible.
Every one of them.
Yes, incredible, incredible. So the whole thing of how do you move from people who are keen, enthusiastic, energized innovators to embed something in a system. And there's a great big divide between the two. And so you do use strategies like the examination system, like campaigns, like publications, and now the internet with web-based stuff. And so I think if you can understand the exhibition in those terms, that you've got evidence in different forms and different means of communicating that in order to influence how people think about their work and how they understand it and how they do it. And then, as a complement to the exhibition, and I wish I had a copy to wave in front of you, I've put together a book about my work, and it is a critical autobiography because it tells a story, but I have been very reflective and evaluative about my experience, and the little cards at the front there if you want to know more about that. So this is the leaflet that YSP put together with NAEA for the exhibition, and then if you want to read further, read all about it in the book. So I think this will pull together all the things that I'm able to share with the archive, all the publications, and then read all about it in the book. Thank you so much for sharing this moment with me tonight, and I'm very pleased, very aware that it's not Eileen Adams, Agent of Change, it's all the people who have worked with me over the years who have been the change agents, and I acknowledge and celebrate their work. Thank you.